Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, August 3rd, and I'm probably talking a little bit low out here. One of the things that's kind of interesting about as you get across Indiana, it's the westernmost part of the eastern time zone. So think about that for a second. I grew up on Long Island, New York, which is right there in the Atlantic Ocean. So when the sun comes up from the east, along with Maine and parts of the northeastern seaboard, which is the first part of the country to um, kind of catch the sunrise. Out here in Warsaw, Indiana, I'm 650 miles from there, so the sunrise still has to come up quite a ways. So here at almost 6:30 in the morning, the sun's just coming up now. We're probably on the East Coast. The sunrise, I don't know how much of a time difference it is, but it's a little bit earlier for sure. Anyway, I wanted to recap yesterday for you, kind of tell you where I'm going today. Today I'm going to be leaving Winona Lake, Warsaw area, and heading to a town called Bourbon, like the drink. And from there, the next I'll be heading to Plymouth. Nice thing about that is, hopefully, word is starting to spread a little bit about what I'm doing in the journey. Um, One of our family had reached out to the local paper out there in Plymouth, and a reporter had asked if she could meet with me sometime today in Boulder. So it's nice to spread the word, and I'm looking forward to kind of, even though I'm not quite halfway through the journey in terms of time or distance, it's kind of been about a guy walking, and I'm really looking forward to starting to turn that a little bit to the point the thumb mantra and spreading that around. But anyway, that's kind of what's going on the next couple of days. I want to recap yesterday. Really phenomenal day. So I got up at the church that you guys know about, and Pastor Staten had told me, hey, why don't you leave your backpack here? I'll run it out to you later on in the day, and you can walk without a backpack. And certainly it was great on the body to do that. What was kind of ironic, though, is when I'd walk into because I had real service issues and battery issues yesterday that seem to be taken care of today. Um, but I would stop. I stopped several times to recharge and things like that. But walking in with just a little plastic bag of a few essentials and get a whole lot different reaction than you do when you're bringing in this monster backpack and you come walking through a door and everybody sees you and knows you're doing something because you got this giant backpack, and that leads to usually people asking me questions, whereas yesterday I was just another guy in a construction safety shirt, so to speak. So that was an interesting observation. I shared yesterday at midday when I was in the office with Aaron about some folks that had the same circumstance but just treated another person completely differently. And then as I was walking towards Winona Lake in Warsaw, I got an email from, actually a phone call from a woman named LaDonna, and she was at the American Legion Post 49 in Warsaw, and said, no, if you're coming through, we'd love to have you. Just stop on in. And it's always great to have a welcome somewhere to go. And while I was on my way there, I got another call from a young lady that had heard about us through Facebook and said, hey, if you don't have a place to stay tonight, you're welcome. And I said, really appreciate that greatly. Again, to know that early in the night, to tell my family is fantastic. But the people that I keep meeting, first of all, let's go down to the American Legion, and I'm gonna do it an injustice by forgetting some names. But LaDonna reached out to me. I'll be forever grateful, because it was one of the most special days I've ever had, just in terms of and seeing how people treat a stranger. I had an experience early in my journey, if you remember my time in Stoystown at a VFW, and it was just amazing people. I mean, these vets are so appreciative of what folks do. But I made my way up there not long after I took that video by the lake yesterday. I walked in, and literally people started clapping, and I have no idea why they're clapping for me. I should be clapping for these folks, but it was only about 8 people at the moment. LaDonna, Missy, Jay, Bruce, Mike. I know I'm missing a couple of people, and for that I apologize. A couple of the young ladies, I've forgotten their name in the moment here. Bob. But these folks just welcome me like family. was so inquisitive about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Were generous, and when they didn't have to be, said, "Look, whatever you want. You want a drink, want a beer, want a soda, want a sandwich. It's all on us." Um, and it was just nice to feel welcome. At one point, I was, it was early in the day, so the bar wasn't full, and it turned in towards, late afternoon, not late afternoon, early evening, I should say. People started coming in, so I stepped away from the bar to let the folks sit there, and I kind of walked around, so I took some of the pictures I posted. Excuse me. And it was just, and they kind of yelled at me, "Get back up here, you're one of us now." And it was just a really special day. And two of the memories I'll have, well, some of them was at a jukebox, and they were playing some music in the jukebox for everybody. But a couple of songs just had a place take off. I'll never forget. I don't remember the gentleman's name sitting to my left. He was a fun guy. But Hank Williams Jr.'s "Family Tradition" was on, and the whole place just sang along. I got a kick out of that. And then later on, there was a song called "Hot Peanuts" by Georgia White. Must come back from the 30s or 40s, but it was or "Hot Nuts," I think it was called, from the 30s probably. Maybe I don't know. That's what I would guess. But a great song, and I already uploaded it to my phone, so I'll always have my memory of Warsaw, Indiana, and that song and where I was in the moment. So, fortunately, Kristen had emailed me during that time and said, "Hey, if you need a place to stay, you're welcome at our place." And I said, "Okay, well, I really appreciate that." And she worked in town until about 6, and met with her about 6:30, and we came back to her home. And just another fascinating story of people and overcoming. I hope I'm not, I didn't get a picture with them yet. I'm hoping to get a picture with the family before I go. But it's Kristen, her dad Doug, and her mom Joanne. And talking to them, I don't even know where to go with this to some degree, but you talk about folks that have overcome. Her mother has had, and I'm not sure if I'm using the right terminology, and I want to get some of the right terminology, so if I don't share too much detail with you right now, I will in the future, because I want to honor some of the things that Kristen's done. But her mom has suffered from I want to say a torn and detached retina, which essentially will cause blindness. And she's 60 now. I hope she doesn't get mad at me saying that, but she was told she might not, have sight past her 40s. So she's still sighted, although the one eye doesn't do well. And Doug, her husband, they were sharing something that, I'm real big on telling my son to be a gentleman and walk with your woman. Well, a lot of times when they go out, because of the change in light differences, with what she has, her depth perception is shot. They can't play catch with you because they'll have their hands out here and a ball coming here. But anyway, often when they go out, Doug has to walk in front of her, kind of just in case there's a step down, or walk around the table, and that's how they function together without needing a whole lot of extra help. So if you ever see a gentleman walking in front of his young lady friend, don't assume that he's being ungentlemanly or rude. There's a possibility he might just be being kind of a service for her. So Doug himself, very quiet, welcoming, a colon cancer survivor. So again, here we talk about some of the things I'm passionate about, having lost a brother to cancer, and Doug has undergone a lot in beating colon cancer. So the strength of the family doesn't stop there. Then comes Kristen, who kind of a couple funny stories that maybe I'll put in the book. But Kristen, at the age of 9, came home one day and couldn't see out of her left eye, and just think about that for a minute. And I asked her, were you, as a guy, sometimes I have a little cold, and I'll be fine. Did you know right away, or how did you react? And because she had been going to the doctor for the same thing with her mom for so long, at night, and her mom was put her to bed, and she said, "Mom, I can't see when I cover this eye." And her mom knew immediately, and she kind of sat back and held up fingers and can't see them. So called her surgeon to get her in here tomorrow. And Kristen was battling between a combination of glaucoma and detached retinas, and I got an education about that. I didn't, I've heard the term detached retina, didn't really know what it means, and I get real squeamish when I think about my eyes. I talk about my eyes, and I was doing my best not to kind of act like a little baby when they were telling me, but how it works, and that it's not something that you break an arm, you can keep for the most part putting a cast on your arm and fixing. You can't really do that with a detached retina. They kind of put scar tissue on there to kind of get it to adhere, and then you have 2 million basically pixels cells in your eye. So even when they do that and laser it, they're never going to get all 2 million, right? So they're, in the best of case scenario, you're going to be having blind spots and dealing with having to deal with that. And then the more, you can detach 1 or 2 times, and after that, it's basically gone. Your sight is gone. So Kristen, at a young age, had to deal with this, and as it came to be, after many multiple surgeries and different things, she actually lost her left eye. So she only has sight in her right eye, and just some of the little things that she was talking about that you got to go with because of the, I guess I won't say fake eye, but the left eye that's not there. She can't close her eye all the way, so she gets to lose out on things as simple as swimming. And she was sharing something with me about a party that she went to for a bachelorette party or something like that, and folks were at the pool, and not only couldn't she go in, but with splashing and things like that, she had to wear sunglasses. And it's kind of weird when there's overcast skies and no sun, and people are like, why are you wearing your sunglasses? And but one of the things I want to pay some tribute to, that Kristen does every year, she takes her own vacation time to do this from work. She works for a large company here in town, and she takes her own vacation time and dedicates her vacation time to go into teach, tutor, mentor at a school at Western Michigan University for the sight impaired. And she went to it as a child, and just the memory she has of it were, they were sharing with me, and you can see how proud her mom was. I'm running out of time. There's so much I want to talk about this. Not so much the affliction, but the way these people handle it. And so Kristen goes back and works with visually impaired folks and blind people, and gives of herself. She takes her vacation time from work to go do that. She feels that strongly about it. And she was talking to me about the program, and that's what I want to get some more details and some more education about what it is she's had to go through and endured, so I can share it with you, because again, I want this to be educational. I want this to be a community. Let us the more educated we are about anything, the less ignorant we'll be. But one of the things that struck me was her just upbeat personality. She's so soft-spoken, and there wasn't a sign of bitterness at all about it. And when I was asking her something, she said, well, what are my other options? What should I do? And I said, well, a lot of people might be bitter and use it as an excuse or a crutch, and just not in her cards. She's graduated college, and she's working, and great family person. Unfortunately, she was recently married, and that didn't work out, but not had anything to do with that. So just such a tremendous attitude. Here I am walking with some blisters sometimes, and again, you find this young lady that since the time she was 9 has had to undergo all of these things. And then the next thing I want to talk about, because this is so important to me, and kind of allows me to see my mom differently too. Again, if you know my background, I can't imagine a parent that loses a child, and even that has children suffer. My daughter at 1 month old had to go for surgery, and I was just distraught. And I'm kind of a weird guy. I kind of live every day waiting to hear that worst news, and it's not like I live my moment by it, but I'm just trying to prepare myself in case I ever get something that is so catastrophic. And Roseanne was you can see the love in her eyes when she was talking about Doug, and how when he would get the news about it, you want to protect your kids. You want to, as a dad, as a husband, you want to protect your family and put everybody in there and say, I got this. And unfortunately, this is something that he couldn't get. He couldn't put his arms around his kids and his wife and love them enough to make this go away. And what a toll that had to take on him. And what was neat, I tell my son, who's a little bit of a decent ball player, you don't have to brag on yourself. It's so much more poignant when other people, and they will. And Doug is quiet and unassuming, and when his wife and daughter were talking about everything he's been through and how he's handled it and how much it's affected him, the dad in me just tore me up. So I'm running out of time here. I got to get a picture with the family. I'm going to be heading on out here shortly. I love you guys so much. Kira, Grace, Landon, I love you guys. Have a great day, and thanks for listening. I'll try to update you some more with some of these things, okay? Take care.